What's poppin', everybody? It's your favorite tomboy Barbie, CoCo Louie, and thank you for tuning in to the Louie Chronicles. We're doing it virtual this time because, of course, we are still in the midst of a pandemic, but nonetheless, today I have with me the beautiful Miss Kaniyah.
Hey, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm excited to have you. I've been following you for a minute now, so I'm super excited. You guys are in for a great treat. Everybody knows before we get started, I like to play a little game. So this one is called Top 5. So I'm going to just ask you whatever the question is, and you just give me your top 5 for what that is, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is your top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Top 5 favorite music?
Movies.
Oh, movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Set it off.
Okay.
Okay. Set it off. Get Out.
Okay.
Don't be, okay, Titanic.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
That's it. I don't really, Players Club.
Okay.
One more. Bring It On.
Okay, I was just talking about this the other day. They don't make movies like that no more. So I'm glad you said that. Okay. All right, next one. Top 5 favorite artists, dead or alive.
Okay, so of course, number 1, 5, however you want to put it first in place, Beyonce.
Yes.
Right after her, I'm going to say Chloe. Right after Chloe, I'm going to say Holly. Right after Holly, I'm going to say Kanye.
Okay.
Right after Kanye, I'm going to say Jay-Z.
Okay. First of all, I'm glad you said Kanye because a lot of people like to cancel him, but being a Kanye fan, it gets a little hard defending him and some of the things he says. But I'm glad that you still holding strong with Kanye even through his little controversial statements and whatnot. So that's good. Okay, next one. Top 5 albums of all time. Could be rap, R&B, whatever. Your top 5.
Beyonce, of course.
Okay.
Which
Beyonce? Which Beyonce?
Huh?
Which Beyonce album?
Dang, I want to say all of them, but I'm so torn. Can we just put Beyonce at the top because that's all I listen to. Okay. If I was to show y'all my Apple Music, you know how it shows you which artist you listen to the most? It's 300 hours Beyonce, I swear to God.
It's okay.
So
okay.
I can't just pick up my favorite one because I listen to them all on shuffle. But right after that, I would say Watch the Throne. That's Jay-Z and Kanye.
Okay.
What else? I like The Kids All Right by Chloe. And Drake's. You killing me. Because it's so many, and I'm lost for words.
It's okay. Listen, I'm glad I'm just asking the questions and I happen to answer. So go ahead, sis.
I'm trying to think. Let's do Ungodly Hour 2. Let's do that one. Okay. And then for the let's do Black 6-piece. ATO. Yes. Okay. That's it.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Top 5 cereals that you love to eat.
Oh, yes. O's is number 1.
Okay.
I don't know if people are familiar with O's. They be sleeping on it because it's very healthy, but it's very good. Right after that, I would say Fruity Pebbles. Okay. Right after that, I would say Captain Crunch. Mm-hmm. And then, they came back out with the Eggos, but the Eggos was always so good. So that's number 4. Mm-hmm. And then number 5 would definitely be the cookie ones.
Oh, Cookie Crisp.
Yes.
Okay. And then last but not least, your top 5 pet peeves.
Someone that lies, someone that gets annoyed because I'm a very blunt person. So it's kind of you kind of ask for that in a friend, someone that's real and keep it real with you, but then you get annoyed by that. Mm-hmm. Someone who kind of doesn't, and this might be a little selfish, but someone that doesn't reach their full potential, when they know they have it and they kind of just, I don't know, don't access it. Mm-hmm. And then someone that's kind of victimizing. I really hate that. It's like it's terrible.
No,
and then people who don't wash their hands like before they about to eat if we're outside.
Okay, thank you, because the pandemic should have revealed that we should be always washing our hands. So
Exactly.
thank you. Okay, so we just want to jump straight into everything. You're from the DMV area, DC specifically. So first off, what was it like growing up in DC? What part of DC are you from?
Well, I'm from Northeast. I'm actually from Trinidad.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you talk about like what it's like growing up, I don't like to sound cliche, but I mean it was very rough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was very like, you know, back then, like what we're seeing now, especially like with this internet stuff, this is like fake life. Because back then, a lot of the things that go on wouldn't be going on because it was so real back then.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so real to the point that like it was like so like dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like it was very much I feel like, you know, like a rough situation. It was kind of like, you know, just being in environments that you don't have no control over, where you never know what's going to happen next. And I just kind of like really don't like to get into it as much because I feel like it's such a deep like story, especially like when it comes to like my actual upbringing. Like people wouldn't believe the things that I've seen, gone through, like especially like the things that I have actually seen with my own eyes. So it kind of makes me really emotional. Oh. But I just would say like to like put it all in one, just very like challenging.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what made you want to get into music?
Well, I've looked up to Beyonce for a very long time. Not only that, I've been modeling in like the DMV modeling scene since I was in the 5th grade. And with that, I was with Models Inc. And what we would do is perform. They didn't just model, they danced. Right. So that was when I kind of like did the backup dancing for Trina, Remy Ma. But alongside that, we would put on whole productions, and like it'd be like the Mrs. Carter's tour Models Inc. And what it would be is us mimicking her whole entire tour, but each girl get a chance to be the different Beyonce in that moment. And so it's like me being a performer, like, because I can dance really well. So me being a performer and being able to be on that stage was one of the things that pulled it out of me. But I actually, you know, was rapping when I was around like 5th grade. Then I stopped, and then it kind of just came back. So I feel like you find your way to your passions just as you go through life. So that mixed with being on stage dancing all the time, it just was like, I gotta do this. Like, this is my thrill. This is my happiness.
Okay. So just to fast forward a little bit into life, so you got into it or kind of fell in love with in 5th grade. Fast forward, you know, you've grown up now. It's 2018. This is when I first heard of you. I literally was scrolling on Twitter, and like I just kept seeing all these retweets. And you know, when you just see something, you just be scrolling like, oh, okay, whatever. But a friend of mine, shout out to DJ King Cyrus, he actually was like, oh, check this out. And it was your Flavor in Your Ear freestyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned into a boss at work. It's Miss Kaniyah.
It's Miss Kaniyah, hella pretty and I rap vicious. Flat iron, bringing heat to every track, bitches. Y'all get y'all pussy up to all these whack niggas. My body bomb, I keep them thirsty as a trap nigga.
And I was like, who is this? Oh, who is this? And he was like, she Tyra. I was like, yeah, she dope. Who is this? So he was like, yeah, like just follow her. So from then, I was a fan. So I was like, dang, because you know, being in this area, number one, it's not a lot of female rappers out, number one. Correct. And then just this area alone, you have a lot of artists that kind of sound the same, if you will.
Yeah,
or
correct.
They like to ride the trendy wave, and there's no shade to anybody, but it's like they all sound the same. So it was refreshing not only to see a female out here spitting like a dude, but it was just like your own style and flavor. It was just, I was dope. I was blown away. I was like, damn, like she's so dope. So anyway, So after that pop, you dropped Black and White, and then you dropped a series of other singles. And Black and White, that's my best friend. That's her favorite song. So, you know, in all of that, how did doing your freestyle and then dropping your singles prepare you to drop Love It or Hate It?
You know, I think what it was is it was kind of like me going through a transition because you have a lot of people in your ear. Like when believe it or not, when I dropped Flavor in your ear and when I dropped Black and White, it was a lot of people like, you know, you have so much potential, but maybe you should go like this route. Meaning the more like, the more like today's route. Let's just say that. And so, maybe you should do this, or maybe you should start doing this. Maybe you should show a little bit more. Like, maybe, you know, it was a lot of that. And so at first I was like very discouraged because I would hear it a lot. Like, you need to just go this way. Until I got to the point where I'm like, no, I'm going to go this way. And I can direct my own path. And what ended up happening is, and I'm grateful for this, I feel like all of the decisions that I made for myself, they bettered me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like after I came to terms with, I'm going to be who I am, and you're either going to accept it or not. But I believe that I am a great artist, and I believe that, you know, once the people see it, they'll understand, or they'll start to kind of come, you know, gravitate and, you know, actually like it. And once I started seeing that traction and seeing people, you know, believe in me, seeing the support that I got with my, you know, from my city, then I started doing things that people kind of would have wanted me to do. But it's because I'm doing it because I want to, not because you want me to. And so I think what it was is just finding myself and being able to be like, okay, and understanding the industry and just understanding like what it means to be all around versatile artist. And then so it was like, oh, I can do that, and that, but on my time. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it was for me.
Okay. So now with Love It or Hate It, it dropped in May, and it's a beautiful project. What would you say is your favorite song? No problem. What would you say is your favorite song off the project?
To be honest, just play it, the intro, because that's more me. Okay. So I kind of wanted to be like super versatile with this project. You'll get one of everything, but number one is like my baby. Okay.
Okay. So, number 1 through 10. I mean, I'm sorry, 1 through 8. Sorry, 1 through 8. Pick a number first. We'll start there. Okay. So pick a number. 1. Okay, so tell me the inspiration behind Just Play It.
So, like, kind of, well, 100%, I really love Meek Mill. Okay. So it was a mixture of dreams and nightmares, and then a mixture of that with Respect the Game. Okay. You know, guys, if y'all haven't heard those songs, I'm pretty sure y'all heard those songs, but those are like his 2 greatest songs ever. Yeah. And I kind of like always loved how when I was in the club and they would drop Dreams and Nightmares, the whole club would go crazy. And it's kind of like you kind of building it up. That's when like I kind of like did this little yearly do. Like it just made me feel like powerful. And I feel like Dreams and Nightmares make people feel powerful. And so does Respect the Game if you really respect the game. So it was kind of that. And then I just took my own twist on it, got my producer to make me, you know, my own beat and stuff like that. So
okay. So not only do you do music, but you also have a clothing line made by MK. So tell me a little bit about that.
So of course during the quarantine, everybody was out of work, and I'm like a hustler. Like I'm like super hustling. So I always wanted to do this. I just never had the courage, I would say. And I feel like what I learned from, you know, being in quarantine was that I was able to survive. I was able to be stable. And not only that, I feel like my music was able to do so much greater that it's like it kind of probably wouldn't have did that if it wasn't quarantine. And so after that, I realized like this time was meant for us to slow down, take risks, look at all the options that you kind of looked over and revisit and just kind of like redo your life. So once I, got over all of that, I'm like, I'm about to drop this X, Y, and Z amount of money and I'm about to start it and whatever happens, happens. Okay. And that was with like no income because I was like, everybody was laid off for a moment. And so I'm just like, I'm about to just spend it. We'll just see what happens after that.
Yes, okay, yes, y'all in the dreaming it. Now, I'm glad you touched on quarantine because a lot of people, if they haven't felt something already, I don't want to wish that on them, but they may feel something like, I can't really describe, but it's like you just feel something like the pandemic is just really like beating you up for real. How have you been able to like stay positive and just keep yourself focused and like, staying on top of everything that you stay on top of while we're all dealing with this at the same time?
Well, like, I'm like a real spiritual person, not to sound like cliche. So, but no, like I meditate every day. I sage like whenever I'm not feeling well, I drink my tea, I always do like, my full moon meditation, I do moon baths, like I'm really into like, the universe and it being able to come full circle and come back to you. And so I feel like I'm just always at peace.
Okay.
So
also now, I had to ask, while we've been in quarantine, of course, everybody's been dropping music, doing challenges, and I heard a freestyle that you did for, City Girls for their Pussy Talk Challenge. And did you expect to get the response that you did?
Actually, no. Like, I was like, what is happening? I was like, what is this? And it just was crazy. But with me, like, it's like with me being on my spiritual journey, it's like I felt like I worked for this to happen. So I probably wasn't as like on the outside excited, but I was full on the inside because I feel like I brought this to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm attracting this to me. So when it happened, I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I'm like, I feel like, especially as women, we have to get to that point and understand good things are supposed to happen for me. I'm not supposed to be shocked. This is supposed to happen. Who is anybody to tell me that this isn't supposed to happen for me? And so I was extremely grateful, but I felt like I worked for that. I needed that. You know what I'm saying? So
now you be a little modest because you're not gonna tell nobody, but for those that don't know, she did the Pussy Talk Challenge and JT retweeted it on Twitter. It ended up on City Girls Instagram page. And everybody, they dropping freestyles, but they're not making it to the page. So to me, and this is just me, an outsider looking in, if I see something like that, automatically in my mind it registers, oh, you paying attention.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because again, I'm sure they have countless people sending videos or like tagging them and stuff, but not everybody gets to make it. So shout out to you. But then also you dropped the song, like the freestyle. It just came out last night on 93.9. So
yeah.
Did you have plans on doing that, or was that just like, okay, well, while it's hot, let's just keep it going?
No, so honestly, it was offered to me. And so I'm so grateful to 93.9 for all of the support and love that they give me. Like, I couldn't thank them enough. Like, they literally asked me to do that. And of course, that same night I went and delivered. Like, of course I'll record this where you can play it before City Girls' actual song.
Okay, all right. So, well, kudos to that. But I do not want to shy away from your own stuff. So Indecisive is this that you have out, which I love. Now, I don't have a bae, but if I had a bae, I promise you, if he was to ever get on my nerves, he would get the look like you 2 seconds away from me cutting you off. Or no, come on you. What was the inspiration behind Indecisive?
Of course, that, like, I feel like, we go, well, I don't have a baby either. Let's just put that out there. But of course,
we need a new shipment of dudes anyway. It's okay. It's all right.
Girl, a whole new species. But no, I just feel like I was in that place where I was dealing with the guy at the time. And it'd be so much back and forth, so much confusion, so much just all over the place. Like it's never just like right. And so it was a guy really inspired me to write the song. And of course, when I sent it to him, he was like, why you say that? They so oblivious. They is terrible.
It's okay. It's okay.
No. Yeah.
Cause when I'm right, I know I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I could be right. I don't know why I don't like it. Some say I'm indecisive, I might like it, but don't buy it. People say I'm kinda biased, but I don't know. Cause when I'm right, I know I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I could be right. I don't know why I don't like it.
Really quick before we wrap this up, I have 2 more questions. So first, as a female artist, and this is a little bit on the serious note, but not like too serious. It's kind of old news now, but I just want to get your perspective on it. Were you surprised by the lack of support? Yeah, I'll say it like that. By the lack of support that Megan Thee Stallion received in the whole situation with Tory Lanez. Like, I know a lot of people, or not a lot of people, some people were accusing her of lying. Some people chose not to speak up on it. People in the industry chose not to say anything on it or be like, oh, well, I mean, like, trying to justify that. Like, what were you?
Yeah.
Not saying, like, if people agree or disagree with lying or not, but what were your views on that whole thing?
I think, I was extremely surprised by, the take on it. Like, how everybody kind of like, it's like you guys built this woman up to tear her down. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand that. Like, it's so backwards. Like, y'all pushed her to be this amazing artist that she is today. As far as, like, you pushed her and elevated her up, but you can't even stand by her and protect her and be there for her. Like, that was so strange to me. I think that was probably the most strangest thing that we've seen on the internet in a long time. Like, someone shot her. Like, how is this not serious? Like, I be honestly so in awe now. Like, the internet is so toxic. Yeah. Like, I just cannot. But I was extremely, like, surprised and extremely disappointed. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. It's 2020, and you said you're a spiritual person, so I know your spirits are uplifted. What are the rest of the plans that Miss Kaniyah has for the remainder of the year? You got to finish out strong, despite this Corona and what she trying to bring and the Jumanji level we're on at this point. What do you have planned for the rest of 2020?
So of course, I'm thinking I'm going to drop a project, another one, in December. Okay. So that's like pretty much all I've kind of been zooming in on. So I'm hoping to drop it in December before the end of this year.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited. So before I let you go, we're going to play one last game, and it's called Your Last. So all you're going to do is I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you're just going to give me whatever that is for you. So first question, your last real vacation was where?
Mexico.
Okay. The last phone call you made?
To my manager, actually.
Okay. The last thing you cooked?
Some coconut Thai chili shrimp pasta with broccoli.
Okay, she's a chef too. Okay. All right. The last movie that you watched?
I don't remember, but I know I just watched Sister yesterday.
Okay.
I was binge watching.
Okay. All right. Last but not least, the last person you said I love you to?
My sister.
Okay. So really quick, before I let you go, just let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find your music, where they can find that freestyle and all that good stuff, and where they can find that Where MK.
Okay, so all of my social medias, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all is Miss Kaniyah, MISSKANIYAH. And so is my Spotify, Apple Music, Shazam, Pandora, whatever you want to use. Everything is MISSKANIYAH. And then if you want some items, clothes, pieces, you can follow me at Wear by MK on Instagram.
Yes, all right. You guys can follow your favorite tomboy Barbie on Instagram at the CoCo_Louie. That's THECOCO_LOUIE. Twitter is CoCo_Louie. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share this. Make sure you guys go stream, love it or hate it. Make sure you check out that freestyle. And till next time, see y'all.